He was the 7th President of the United States. Andrew Jackson was one of our most controversial presidents. Some say he was the father of our democracy and a great man for bringing people into the idea of a democratic government. Others say he was an uneducated, ill-tempered, vengeful man determined to have his way, regardless of the impact on the Constitution or on American democracy. His support for and reinforcement of the Indian Removal Act was a shameful period in American history. President Jackson's acts of criminal disobedience of the Supreme Court's decision were responsible for the broken hearts and lost lives along the Trail of Tears. Early history and conflict. The Cherokee land was originally in modern-day Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. Their first contact with Europeans was with Hernando de Soto and his troops in 1540. In the early 1600s, the Cherokee began trading with the British colonists. They traded animal skins for things such as guns, cloth, glass, and tools. Trade changed the Cherokee culture immensely. They didn't need to hunt and farm to survive anymore. They could simply trade what they had for even better things. They fought alongside the British in both the French and Indian War and the Revolutionary War. When the Americans won the war, they took away some of the Cherokees' land for their own towns and villages. History contributing to the Trail of Tears. Before the Indian Removal Act, the Cherokee had been recognized by the government as their own nation, though the state of Georgia didn't quite see it that way. The Cherokee had a lot going for them, such as an alphabet in their own language by the Cherokee scholar Sequoyah, their own constitution, much like the United States' own, and their own day-by-day newspaper, the Cherokee Phoenix. In 1828, gold was found on Cherokee land. Hundreds of white men started setting up camp near there, pushing them farther and farther west. In 1830, the Indian Removal Act was passed, allowing the government to pay Native Americans for their land and then relocate them to a reservation in Oklahoma, which was at the time thought of not to be suitable for white men because the land was hard to farm. The Cherokee were divided in between those who wanted to leave the Treaty Party and those who refused to give up the land of their forefathers, the Ross Party, named for their chief, John Ross, who wanted to reach an agreement with the government to keep their land. Most people supported the Ross Party. So the Cherokee went to court and tried to sue the state of Georgia, arguing that, since they were a separate nation, the United States did not have a right to take their land. Ironically, the court would not accept their case because they were a separate nation. So then they got Samuel Worcester, a missionary who lived in their village, to go to court for them since he was a U.S. citizen. This time, Chief Justice John Marshall ruled in favor of the Cherokee. However, the victory was short-lived. Secretly, the Treaty Party signed the Treaty of New Echota in 1835, agreeing to trade Cherokee land for the land in the West, and enough money to get there. The rest of the Cherokee were shocked and outraged because the Treaty Party was a very small group and did not have the right to represent their whole tribe. So over 16,000 Cherokee, including John Ross, signed and sent a petition to the government to protest the signing of the treaty. However, President Jackson hardly glanced at it. The government gave the Cherokees 2 years to leave their land or be forced. The Trail of Tears. 2 days after the deadline, most Cherokee was still there. President Jackson sent General Winfield Scott and 7,000 soldiers to remove them from their homes and lead them west. They were put in holding pens like cattle, where there wasn't nearly enough food or blankets for everyone, and disease struck many before the actual march. Once they set out, the Cherokee people were divided into 13 separate groups of about 1,000 each. They had to travel around 800 miles in all to reach their new homes. The conditions were terrible. Most walked with bare feet, and even the elderly were forced to carry heavy packs on their backs. They had to sleep on the bare ground and keep walking through rain or snow. Nearly a third of them died before the march was over. They buried at least 13 dead at every stop. They were not even allowed to have proper burial, and they had to bury them on the side of the road. This long trail was called the Trail Where They Cried by the Cherokees and the Trail of Tears to us. The Trail of Tears was a very heart-wrenching episode in U.S. history. Nearly 2,000 people died in the stockades, and 6,000 more on the Trail of Tears. That's a total of 8,000 for the Cherokees only. The Creeks, Choctaws, Seminoles, and Chickasaws were all moved to the Indian Territory as well. The Cherokee Nation has endured a lot and held out to their very last whim and fought as hard as they could without resorting to violence. They had to change their ways to please white men. They were stripped of their land, most of their possessions, and loved ones. Although President Jackson believed he was making the right decision for the United States by removing the Cherokee from their land in what was supposed to be a humane manner, ultimately for the Cherokee, it became the Trail of Tears. The Cherokee Nation will be forever remembered as a strong, peaceful, humble, and self-sacrificing people. Today, the Cherokee live mostly in Oklahoma, but some still remain on traditional land. They live and dress like regular people, but some still keep their old customs and traditions. The nation now has 220,000 tribal members and is the second largest tribe in the United States.
Okay, shalawam. Alright, first off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakha, Kwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of GMS that taught me this truth. Okay, and to the ones that are out there on the four corners of the earth, prophesying the downfall of America and the uprising of Israel, shalawam. Okay, now this is another edition of Never Forget, number 4. As you can see, it's concerning the Trail of Tears, and it's concerning the atrocities that they had to go through or forced to go through by Andrew Jackson with his Indian Removal Act of 1830. Okay. All right. And, you know, as you can see, you saw the numbers there. It was what, 2,000 died. You had a total of 8,000 people died. 13 died at each stop. I mean, the numbers were crazy, and you know that's why it was called or referred to as a Trail of Tears, because of the mass death that happened, man. When they forced I believe it was the Cherokee Indians at that time. They forced the Cherokee Indians, and they removed them from the land and forced them on like 800 miles away, 8,000 miles away, or something like that. Okay, all right, but I believe it's 800 miles away from Atlanta, Georgia, to parts in like Tennessee and Oklahoma. Okay, but before I get my first scripture, I want to get this scripture in Genesis 49, because it is disputed by some that say that the Native American Indians aren't Israelites. Okay, but if you go into prophecy, it's without a doubt that the Native American Indians are Israelites, and they are our brethren, man. Okay, but this is not a show to prove that they're Israelites, but I'll just get one scripture. But there are plenty other scriptures, but I'm just going to get one, and then I'll go into the scriptures about Esau. Okay, so this is Genesis 49:19, and it reads, "Gad, a troop shall overcome him." Okay, now we know that Gad is referring to the Native American Indians. It says a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Okay, now that troop that overcame the Native American that troop that overcame the Native American Indians was the Edomites. Okay, and this is after that they assimilated and they fought and they helped them in certain wars. All right, and what did they do? They turned around and stabbed them in the back, which is the nature of an Edomite. Okay, it tells you in Psalms, they are estranged from the womb as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. Okay, that's why the Native American Indians, they refer to the so-called white man as a man with a forked tongue, meaning he says one thing and does another. He can't keep a treaty. He can't keep a contract. He'll just break it. Okay, that's the nature of the Edomites. But it says in the scripture here, it says a troop shall overcome him. Okay, but he shall overcome at the last. And what last is that speaking about? That's referring to the last days, because they are Israelites according to this prophecy and various others. And just like the other tribes, we're gonna come. We're gonna the captive, okay, will or the one under subjection will get a role reversal with the ones that are oppressing us right now, pursuing the Psalms of 14th chapter, 1st and 2nd verse. Okay, so let me go right into the scripture. This is Amos 1 and 11 concerning Edom. Okay, this is Amos 1 and 11. It says, "For thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof." The punishment against who? The punishment against the nation of Edom. Okay, because it tells you in various scriptures, in sources in the Bible, that Edom is a place or people of great future judgment. Okay, so they have a judgment coming to them. Okay, it says, "For 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof." Okay, and that punishment is total annihilation. The Most High is going to allow missiles to drop on their kingdom. And I mean, if you put on the news right now, you can see that their kingdom is dwindling. Their power, it's a power struggle right now. Okay, and their kingdom is getting lost and dwindling and morally right before our eyes, man. And they can't do anything about it. Okay, it says, "I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity." Does not the so-called white man cast off all pity in this situation concerning the Trail of Tears? And this is just one instance that I'm bringing to light right here. Okay, this is another instance that our people can't forget, man. All right. And this is and who was responsible? The nation of Edom was responsible, man. Okay, it says, "Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever." Okay, all right, and this is something the so-called white man, the so-called white race, the so-called white man did, or nation of Edom, as referring to the scriptures, man. Okay. They casted off all pity when they allowed or forced the Cherokee Indians to walk barefoot in the snow. And each stop they did, 13 died at a time. They didn't have any time for a proper burial or anything. Okay? But did Esau give a fuck about them? Did Esau care? No. Okay? Next scripture I got is in Psalms 137. Okay, it says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundations thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed." Now, the daughter of Babylon is referring to America. Okay? Because what proves that is referring to Babylon as a daughter of Babylon, and Babylon was never destroyed, as it's speaking about right here. Okay? It says, "O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us." Meaning, the way you rewarded the nation of Israel, from the so-called Negro all the way on down, all the tribes, okay, because we all suffered under the hands of Esau. Okay, the same way you rewarded us is the same way, is the same judgment and same atrocities that's going to be rewarded to Esau now. Okay. All right. I got Malachi as well. Malachi 1 and 4. Okay. It says, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down." Okay. So you can continue trying to build this society, build this kingdom up, but guess what? The Most High is going to destroy it, man. Okay? It says, "They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness." Okay? "And the people whom the Lord hath indignation forever." Okay? So, I mean, don't get emotional at me. Okay, this is what the scripture is saying, man. Okay, the Most High has an indignation against the nation of Edom forever. That's why they're the only nation that's going to be destroyed, man. They're going to be the only nation. It tells you that in Job. You're going to say, who and where is he, man? Meaning the nation of Edom is the only nation that's going to be wiped up off the planet. Okay? It says right here, they shall build, but I will throw down. You can try to build up America. That's why it says in Jeremiah, there is no healing Babylon. Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. Okay, whether you people want to believe it or not, America is on its way out. America is circling the drain. Okay, and it's the Most High that's doing it because he has a controversy against the nation of Edom. Right now, the nation of Edom, or AKA America, AKA the beast. Okay, they're in the crosshairs of the Most High, and it's only going to go downhill from here. Why? Because they had come against the nation of Israel. Okay, for the atrocities that they have committed against the nation of Israel, and this is just one of them. So this is they're going to get paid back for this, for the Trail of Tears. Okay, for Red Summer, like the previous video, Will Brown, the Red Summer of 1919, all the atrocities that they did against the nation of Israel that we know about, because there are things that we don't know about that they did. But all the atrocities that the nation of Edom has committed against our people, the Most High is repaying them back. I mean, look, if you look right now, what's going on in Cali, man. It's been over a week, and there's still fires over there. Okay, you got people's house burning down, losing everything, man. And this is just the beginning. Okay. The Most High has a controversy against Edom, a controversy against the people of Edom, controversy against the daughter of Babylon, and judgment is getting ready to fully set here in America. All right, so this is another series of Never Forget. Our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans should not forget things like this. We got to remember our enemy. They always want to say never forget 9/11. Our people should never forget the Trail of Tears. Our people should never forget Will Brown, the Red Summer of 1919. Our people should not forget the atrocities that we have been under in this place. All right, so until the next show, shalawam.